This is my Bulova watch collection. Similar to the Casio collection that I did, I'm going to just briefly go over each one, mostly vintage. There are a few in here, right down here at the end, that are newer, but I want to make the video as painless as possible. So I'm just going to go down the line, give the dates, the movement caliber, and whether it's a manual or a automatic. So I'm going to be starting out with this one, the only Bulova pocket watch that I own. But before I do that, I was trying to figure out the best way to organize these, whether I was going to do them by year or style. And also, if you like these videos, just click like, subscribe, comment. Some of these I have not done their individual videos for yet, like this one. And if you want to see if there's something in there that you say, I saw one of those on the internet and I kind of am interested in getting one, can you do a video on that particular one that I haven't done yet? Then I'll set that one aside and do that one first. Most of these that I have not done, like this one, I have already made a servicing video for. I just haven't done the individual for, and I haven't done any of the editing yet. So these are all, for the most part, in working condition. 3 Accutrons, when I get to those are not working, and the one that was working that I did a video on is now back in pieces because, as I said in that video, the date was not jumping into the correct position in the window. So that is now currently sitting on my bench and waiting for a time and when I have patience for dealing with springs. So okay, so we're going to start out, or I'm going to start out with this one. This is a pocket watch, pretty thin for a pocket watch. This one has what looks like a T imprinted on the movement. They weren't doing imprinting on the back like they do with a lot of the stuff from the 50s, which would be L, and then the 60s would be M, and then the 70s would be N. This has the T imprinted on the movement, which would indicate either 1932 or 1942. Now, they didn't start making this movement until 1935, which would roll out 32 as being the date in which this one was produced, even though underneath the barrel, and I did zoom in on that on the microscope when I was making the video for the servicing, that there is a 32 stamped on the plate. So I don't know, you know, I'm just basing it on the information that I have. So anyway, this is just a manual wind pocket watch, nice thin little thing. I'll go more in detail into it when I make the individual video. So this is the 1941 Alderman. I did do a video on this one. Manual wind. It does have almost a rose gold plated case. 10AX movement, manual wind. Great looking watch. I do have another one similar to this on the bench. It is not an Alderman. All right, next up is this 1960 President A, Designation A, and this is another manual wind movement. It does have a Bulova crown, but it doesn't quite go all the way to the case. Great looking watch. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep this one. I mentioned I did make a video on this, but when I took it apart and saw what great condition it was, I decided I was going to hold on to it. So this has the 10BZ movement, manual wind. Like I said, I did make a video on this. Here's another one I have not done a video on. This is a 1957 Surfmaster B, Designation B, square case. You see it says waterproof. There's a little bit of a chip down here on the dial. And this is a two-piece crown, and the case is held, the top part of this case is held into place by 4 pins, 2 on each side between the lugs. And again, when I did the servicing video on this one, I did show where the pins go. Of course, those hands are supposed to be gold, but they got rusty, and I wasn't able to, or I don't have a matching set of hands that are in my kind of toolkit of Bulova stuff. So, and I really kind of like it because it just makes it so much easier to see. With those dark hands, it just kind of looks off. This is a 1967 Commander AO. This has a stainless steel case, silver dial, silver colored dial, and it does have that great shape to it. I did look into why the dial was offset. I did take the dial off because, as you can see, the dial is kind of offset to the left. It's also missing the 2 o'clock marker. I did not want to remove the feet and replace them in a different place in order to straighten the dial out. It is the correct case, it is the correct dial, it is the correct movement. I just couldn't figure out why it was in that position. So this has the 10C OAC automatic movement with manual wind. Now we're to the round cases. This is a 1956 Navigator. I really like the honeycomb looking dial. Stainless steel case in really good shape. And I went with a blue band. This one I did not make a video on, so I think I did a servicing on it. This is an 11 ACC manual wind movement. Yeah, I did do this one because the Phantom B was an 11 ACC. All right, next up, this is the 1954 Phantom A. This is manual wind. And when I did the video on the Phantom B, I had mentioned that I liked the dial and the case so much that I decided that I wanted to get a Phantom A, and I was waiting for that to come in the mail. And so here it is. The dial I was able to clean it up a little bit. It was very yellow when I first got it, and I was able to bring it to a beige. And I went with what they called a gray strap, but in the light it looks more like a pink, because I ordered the strap before I got the watch, and I was thinking that if the dial were white and the stainless steel case, that gray would go with it. I don't think it looks bad, but this is another one, like I said, I have not made a video for it. This is the Phantom B, 1957. Now I did make a video on this one, and that's the dial that I like. I like the stainless steel case. It does wear very thin. I just think it's an attractive looking watch, both the A and the B. So I do like the Phantoms. And this one has an 11 ACC. I don't know if I mentioned that the Phantom A has a 10 BUC manual wind. The Navigator has the 11 ACC, and then this has the 11 ACC manual wind. This is something I'm not sure about. You can see that dial was a real mess when I got it. I was able to clean it up to this point, and this one I have not made a video for yet. Now this appears, there was a certain point when I was doing my research in which the Surf Kings did not have waterproof written on the dial. And this would be that year. This is 1963. But the Surf Kings seem to have a different case. So whereas up here where the strap is between the lugs, this is more curved, whereas the Surf King had more of a straight, similar to this, how it's straight up there, whereas this is more curved, similar to the Phantoms. So I'm not sure if this is a Surf King or not. Again, I haven't made a video for this. I did do a servicing video on it, but I just put on my little cheat sheet here, Surf King ? And this has an 11 AF manual wind movement. And now we're getting into the 23s. All of these, I believe, I do all of the 23s I have made videos for. So this is a 1954 23D. This has a chrome plated case, which is not in the greatest of conditions. Does have nice looking lugs, and all of the 23s are going to have a 10 BPAC movement in it, automatic with hand wind, and they're all going to have the starburst style dials, 23 joules, 6 adjustments. Here's another 23. This is the 1955 23K. This is the one that I said had the cat ears or Batman type ear lugs. Probably one of my favorite designs in the 23s. Starburst dial, again 23s. This one, the dial does say 6 adjustments. This one is gold plated, and I did make a video on this one. So this one is the 1955 23C. Gold plated, not the original crown. Again, starburst dial, 10 BPOC movement, manual automatic. Dial on this one's in fairly good shape. Yeah, this is the 1955 B, 23B. This one is definitely in the best shape, primarily because it is stainless steel, but the dial again itself is in really nice shape. Does have the original crown, got the nice looking lugs, and of course stainless steel. You can always buff out the scratches, which you cannot do with the plated. So yeah, this has the 23 joule 10 BPAC movement. So this is the 1956 23G gold plated case. And again, this one has a dial that's in really good shape, not the original crown. Starburst dial, self-winding, 10 BPAC, like I said, 23 joule automatic with hand wind. So all of the 23s I did make videos for. The 1955 Royal Lancer. I believe this was the last video that I made with the Bulovas. And I said that I had got it because that dial with that X, two-tone dial, and the lugs just were a great looking kind of combination there. I just thought it was a nice looking watch. So I picked this one up. And this one has a 10 CBAC automatic movement. This is a 1961 Sea King A. This is a manual wind, 11 AFC movement. Really good shape, stainless steel case, original crown. You can see it's marked waterproof. Good looking, classic looking watch. This is the 1965 Surf King Designation GY. This one has the linen dial. Now, a lot of these, for example, I did a video on this one, and I wasn't sure the names. I've tried to go back and correct it, at least in the description, what the names are once I found them out. And I've been trying to do more research on this. So this one is coming up at a 65 Surf King GY with that linen type dial, second subhand. And this one is stainless steel and has an 11 AL manual wind movement. Okay, this is a 1965 Date King NN. And I did do a video on this. This is 11 ALCD manual wind movement. Dial does have some spots, and it is called a Date King because it does have the date at 3 o'clock, which I believe is, aside from the Accutrons, the only mechanical, well, the Accutrons are not mechanical, but this is the only mechanical Bulova that I own with a date function. Alright, now this watch, when I did the video, I was looking on Google trying to figure out what the name of it was. So this is from 1967. It's gold-plated case, manual wind movement. It's 11 AL movement. And people were just calling it classic. Okay, yeah, but that doesn't sound like something that Bulova would name it. And I mentioned that as a dress watch. I just call it a dress watch. When I went to mybulova.com and looked up 1967, I did not see any of these there. So I did 66, I did 68, and I think maybe 65. I just went through, because there's pages and pages and pages that people post their watches. And what I came up with, which looked exactly like this, it just was not the correct date, but it did have the correct movement, the 11 AL manual wind movement, was the Centennial. So I am going to refer to this as a 1967 Bulova Centennial. This is a 1967 Cflight L, designation L. This has an 11 AL AC automatic movement with hand wind gold-plated case. And the reason that I got this was because of that dial. Just, you can see the reflection, that shiny gold, kind of almost gold flake looking dial. I just thought it was a nice looking dial. It is small. Anyway, I haven't done a video for this yet. I made the servicing video. When I bought it, the dial was, or the crystal rather, was not in great shape, and it's kind of tough when you're looking at something online and you're looking at the dial and you're wondering if it's the crystal or the dial. Fortunately, it was just the crystal. Okay, here's another one of my favorites. This is a 1969 Commander Designation B stainless steel case. This one has a 10 COAC automatic movement with hand wind. It's just a great looking watch. I love that silver dial, silver colored dial. It's in pretty good shape, even though it's tough to see in this video. It may have been easier to see it when I made the video, that somebody was putting their fingerprints on it, and there's little spots of pink where their fingerprints have just kind of made their way into the dial over time. Now we moved away from the mechanicals, and this is an Accutron 214 movement. What I could find was this was 1966. This is a 419 with a 214 movement in non-working condition, because I do not mess with Accutrons. Now the coils in this are I tested and are in good shape. It hums. But when you look at the pivots, one of the pivots is broken. So that's why it's not working. So in fact, that it's just the wheel that needs to be replaced. You can say it's just the wheel that needs to be replaced. Oh, that's an easy thing. No, it's not an easy thing, and I'm not going to play with it. One day maybe I might decide to, but that's not in the near future. All right, next up, I'll leave this one here, is another 214 Accutron from 1966, and you can see they are very close in the way they look, but this one, the one with the strap on it, has 3, 6, and 9, whereas this one just has markers, arrow-shaped markers. This one has a gold-plated back, and this one has a stainless steel back. But otherwise very similar case style. Well, no, not really, because the lugs on this one are straight. So, similar looking watches nonetheless. And I don't know what the designation was on this. I could not find one that had that dial the way the markers are. And I keep these together, so, whoops. Looks like the ring just fell off of one of them, so that needs to go back on. Another non-functioning 218. This one looks like somebody may have dropped a cigarette, the cherry of a cigarette on there and burned the crystal. This one has a day date. Again, I don't know what the name of it is. I just wrote 2182G or 26. I'm not sure. It says Pioneer on the back, so I guess this was maybe a farewell gift, a retirement gift for somebody from Pioneer. Again, not working. I also have another 218 in the other room that is missing the back, and I put it there for some reason. I just don't remember what it is. Now we're going to take a hop, skip, and a jump 12 years to 1978, where I have this Bulova digital watch. Not sure what the name of it is. It's a quartz chronograph. Anyway, this is my only Bulova digital watch from 1978, and I did make a video on this one. Okay, this is one that I had really no interest in keeping, but decided, well, I'll just throw it in with the Bulova collection, because I got this one with pretty much, I think, a lot of more modern watches. So this is the Marine Star quartz movement from 2001. I think I'm pretty sure I made a video on this. It does have a unidirectional rotating bezel. Water resistant to 100 meters. I just decided to keep it. Why not? I believe at this point Bulova was bought out by Citizen, so I'm pretty sure this has a Miyota movement in it. This is, I did a video on this. This is the Bulova AccuSwiss Kirkwood. This was made in 2014, obviously a newer one. This does have a Swiss movement. And at the time, well, I think they still do put that Accutron emblem on some of their watches. But it has the cutout for the balance in the dial, so you can watch the balance go back and forth. And I did show this in a video when I did the tourbillon that I got from AliExpress. Nice looking dial. Stainless steel case. As you can see, I have worn it a few times and managed to bump into a few things. Alright, and then last up, 2015. The only thing I could come up with, the name of this was Classic. Most of the Classics did not have that dial. It was more of a smooth dial. This one, again, was one of those watches that I got in a watch lot. Wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, but then said, what the hell, and decided that, okay, I am going to keep it. It isn't a bad looking watch. It is a tad bit thick for a dress watch. Again, Japanese movement, so I'm going to assume, again, that it's a Miyota movement, Miyota quartz movement in there, and it does have that little date window at 3 o'clock. Anyway, that's it. That's my entire, well, almost entire Bulova watch collection. And again, like I said, it is not as many as the Citizen, and it is more than 10, and 10 makes a collection within my collection. Anyway, again, if you like this video or any of my videos, click like, subscribe, comment again, comment if you see a watch that I have not yet done a video for and you say, hey, you know, my father owned that watch and I'm curious about it, or, you know, maybe I'm thinking about getting one online on eBay or Etsy or one of these other places, and say, you know, I'd just like to know a little bit more about it before I actually go ahead and make the purchase. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.